So in order to get started and think about English's argument, we need to do a bit of setup first by thinking about a distinction that she makes between what she calls the basic benefits of sports and the scarce benefits of sports. So basic benefits from sport include, I'm just going to quote here from English, where she says, health, the self-respect to be gained from doing one's best, the cooperation to be learned from working with teammates, and the incentive gained from having opponents. The character of learning to be a good loser and a good winner, the chance to improve one's skills and learn to accept criticism, and just plain fun. So English here says that there's a lot of benefits that can be accessed by basically anybody who wants to play sports. And she ends up arguing, as we can see down here, that everybody should have an equal opportunity to access these basic benefits. So these are the things that you should be allowed to access at whatever level you're playing sports at. These are the things that, if we have a sporting setup that doesn't allow you to access these basic benefits, then that setup ought to be changed because you have a right to access all of these kinds of things that should come along with you playing sports. So if the sporting setup is such that certain groups of people don't have the opportunity to access these benefits, then English says that these should be changed. On the other hand, we have scarce benefits. So scarce benefits, as you may expect from the word scarce, are benefits that not everybody can access. So these are only accessible to some athletes, and these are things that we might think of as the kind of domain of the elite sports people. So scarce benefits from sports include fame and fortune. They might include, recognition, and kind of publicity. But these are things which, English says by definition cannot be afforded to everybody, whereas basic benefits can. And so English's position is that, as we said, everybody should have an equal opportunity to access these basic benefits, whereas her position about scarce benefits is a little bit more complicated. So ultimately, what she ends up saying is that different kinds of salient political groups, so men and women, we might think, should get equal access to scarce benefits. And this is something that's going to justify her argument that we've seen here. It's going to be a little bit complicated, but I'm going to talk you through it. So this is going to be English's argument. So as I've said, English's argument is a little bit complex, but she's definitely in favor of separate competition groups for women, at least in some cases. She has other things that she wants to say about how these should be set up and when they're justified. But for the moment, we're going to focus on an argument that she gives based on the link between self-respect and the scarce benefits that we've just been talking about. So one of the things that English points out is that if there are no women's only categories, then there's going to be far fewer female sports role models. So one of the things that she points out is that if you had completely integrated sports, it would be very unlikely for women to win because of biological differences. Instead, it seems like men would dominate and women would be kind of crowded out of the top spots in most sporting competitions. And she says that, that's going to have some bad results because there's going to be far fewer female sports role models. And this is something that's going to be, a really bad result. So she writes, when there are virtually no female athletic stars, or when women receive much less prize money than men do, this is damaging to the self-respect of all women. So in other words, her argument is that equal access to scarce benefits is required for the self-respect of the group. So this comes back to the things that we were talking about before about group rights.